Merry Christmas and welcome to TV, Tennessee Valley Church. We're here at Huntsville's Tinsel Trail. People from all across North Alabama come here to see the trees, to see each other, and to get in the Christmas spirit. "20 years ago, our family went to an amusement park in Gulf Shores called The Track. It's still there. Carrie and I drove by it a couple of weeks ago. I didn't see it this time, but 20 years ago there was a bungee jump platform there. You know the bungee jump. That's where seemingly intelligent people place their lives in the hands of a guy who looks like he'd rather be surfing. With nothing but a glorified rubber band attached. People throw themselves off a perfectly good platform. Well, I sat down with our kids on the bleachers below as a man and his teenage son climbed the stairs to the platform. The dad went first. He walked somewhat gingerly to the edge. The mom and sister were sitting near us on the bleachers below, cheering. "Jump, honey," yelled his wife, which made me wonder about their relationship. Dad took a deep breath and jumped right off. He bounced like a yo-yo for a few moments, then was lowered gently to the ground. The teenage son was next. The young man, whose name we overheard was Adam, inched his way up to the edge of the platform. He looked over the brink and shook his head. His dad called out, "Jump, Adam, I did it, jump." "Jump, Adam," yelled his little sister. But Adam didn't jump. Adam just stood there. Finally, Adam turned around, took off his harness, and walked away. He walked past two others who were waiting to take the plunge, down the stairs. He just couldn't do it. Others had jumped. His dad had jumped. But Adam just couldn't. Lots of people throughout history have wanted to do something, but just couldn't. Couldn't get over the fear. Maybe there's something you believe you ought to do. Something important. I'm not talking about bungee jumping now. Something significant. Maybe you feel like God Himself would smile if you would do that. Maybe you have even felt like God is prompting you to do it. But you're afraid. Mary was afraid. "Greetings," the angel commenced, and then quickly added, "Fear not." The Christmas angels had a habit, by the way, of showing up suddenly, scaring the pajamas off people, and then saying, "Fear not." "You're going to have a baby," the angel continued. "Are you sure?" asked Mary, an ordinary teenage girl. "I know I have a lot to learn, but I don't think it's supposed to happen this way." "God is going to perform a miracle in your body," said the angel, "and nothing is impossible with God." That was enough for Mary. Although she was obviously afraid, she jumped. A few Christmases ago, our children's choir in Richmond, where I lived, presented a wonderful Christmas musical. Eliana Bowman played Mary, and some of the other children said to her, "You are so lucky to get to play Mary." But then they made a video for the musical out at the Hoarder's farm. The video was going to show in the background to depict the journey of Mary and Joseph on the donkey to Bethlehem. They didn't have a donkey, but they did have a horse. Michael Hoarder was helping out, and they placed Mary, Eliana, up on the horse. Joseph walked in front with Michael holding the horse's reins. Mary was wearing a big headdress. But then the wind caught that headdress and it began to flutter wildly, which spooked the horse, who took off running, yanking the reins out of Michael Hoarder's hands. Eliana held on, they said, for about 50 yards. Then the horse made a turn and Eliana didn't. She fell off and the horse ran off. Eliana fell in, well, let's just say the horse had been there previously. Eliana was really scared. Everyone was. Eliana laid there with her breath knocked out of her. She was fine, though she was sore for a few days. But Eliana told her friends later, "It's not easy being Mary. It's harder than I expected. It's not easy being Mary, she said. It wasn't for the original Mary either. Granted, when Mary told Elizabeth that she was going to have a baby, God's son, Elizabeth declared, "Blessed are you among women." The angel who appeared to Mary referred to her as the highly favored one. Mary would become one of history's most admired persons. The course of human history took a wonderful turn at her courageous decision. But I can hear the mother of Jesus on a number of occasions thinking to herself, it's not easy being Mary. Mary witnessed the opposition to her son from the religious and political leaders, from criticism to plots to take his life. That had to be hard. It's not easy for a mother to hear her son criticized. It's hard on dads too. Our sons both umpired Little League baseball as teenagers, and a couple of times I was sitting in the crowd and wanted to say, "Hey, that's my boy you're talking about." Mary must have wanted to say, "Hey, that's my son you're attacking." She watched people malign and demonize her son, even plot to kill her son, all in the name of power and religion. Mary even had her own doubts once. Mark 3 says Jesus was in a home to eat, and there was a big crowd of people there when Jesus' mother and brothers showed up to take him with them, saying, "He is out of his mind." Isn't that interesting and surprising? After all Mary had seen, from the angel to the miracles, maybe she thought Jesus was going too far, or maybe skeptics had gotten to her and convinced her that she was imagining things. But for that one surprising moment, Mary had her doubts. Mary came around, of course, but for what must have been a confusing and painful moment for both Mary and Jesus, she just wasn't sure. Mary watched them on that Friday mock and beat her son. She walked behind her son that Friday, following the trail of his blood along the cobblestones of Jerusalem all the way out the city gate to Calvary. She watched them nail him to a cross and pierce his side. Mary watched the energy and the blood slowly drain out of him until he declared to the Father, "Into thy hands I commit my spirit," hung his head, and died. Jesus is Savior and King to us. He is Master and Redeemer. He was those things to Mary too, but He was more than that. Jesus was her boy. It wasn't easy being Mary, but God used that teenage girl to change the course of human history. And it all began with these words, let it be with me as you say." More about Mary in a few minutes.
Narrow as the road may seem, I'll follow where your spirit leads. Broken as my life may be, I will give you every piece. I hear you call, I am available. I say, yes, Lord, I am available. Here I am with open hands, counting on your grace again. Less of me and more of you. Oh, I just wanna see you move. I hear you call, I Nothing is a sacrifice. Use me how you want to, God. Have your throne within my heart. Oh, I hear you call. I am available. I say, yes, Lord. I am available. I hear you call, and I am available. Oh, I hear you call, and I am available, Lord. Oh, I hear you calling. Oh, I hear you call. Yes, I know you call. You call me as I am. Oh, you call me as I am. And Lord, you use me as I am. Oh, yes, I hear you call. I hear you call. Use me, Lord. Lord, you can use anything. So you can use me as I am.
Don't you love it when somebody sees a need in the community and then makes an effort to find a way to fulfill that need? And that's what Jamie Mackey has had a hand in doing here at Big Red Grocery Store at Huntsville Middle School. And Jamie's also the youth minister at First Baptist Church Huntsville. And Jamie, thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much. It's good to be with you today.
And what a great idea to have students earn points through behavior, good behavior, then be able to come to the store and purchase food, because it's a need in this community.
Absolutely, it's a great need. We're at Huntsville Junior High. Over 40% of our students were on free or reduced lunch prior to the pandemic. Since the pandemic, the school has made all meals free, so we don't have a great number since then, but we can only know or only expect that that number would have been upped a little bit. But so 40% plus is a big need of students regarding food and food insecurity. That affects how a student performs in the classroom, how they perform at behavior-wise in the school, but also how their family is able to function. Food is a vital necessity when they don't have a security of where their food is coming from.
And there are several components to make this work. Explain those.
Is a school wanting to have to meet the needs, but also I think a community partner, and in this case it's First Baptist Church of Huntsville, and then a person or a group that is sort of working in between. I'm a minister at the church, but I'm also the PTA president at the school this year, and so the PTA is also helping make this happen. So it's a collaboration between the school, the PTA, and First Baptist Church, and through the church we're pulling in other community sponsors to help with it as well.
And wouldn't it be great if every school, every public school in this area, everybody watching, had this same thing at their school?
Yeah, our dream is that this will be a pilot for our system and beyond Huntsville City system to our region. And so yes, I think it would be a great thing to put in multiple schools when we have a community partner willing to step in with the school and help meet the food insecurity needs, all in the sake of a student preserving dignity by going to a store and earning points that they can purchase within the store. It helps behavior, it helps needs, and it helps the school be a better place in our community.
So, Jamie, can they contact you if someone's interested and wants to know how to start this?
Absolutely. You can contact me. Probably email is best. My email is jamie@fbchsv or jamie@fbchsv.org. We'd love for you to make contact and we have that conversation.
Thanks, Jamie.
Oh, thank you.
This is Morgan Sundloff, and she's an 8th grader here at Huntsville Junior High School. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
And you've had a chance to work here in the Big Red grocery store. So what all do you do here?
I've worked here 2 times so far, and I've only worked the cashier, but we have a cashier, a bagger, and a customer service. So there's 3 of us usually working. The cashier basically looks at what they have in their bag and puts it in on the computer system we have. We can put in their name, and then we click on everything they got and the quantity of what they got, and then we just click checkout and tell them how many points they have left.
So this is like on-the-job training.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
getting some good life skills right
Yes.
here. Morgan, what about the behavior points that you all earn?
Okay.
Have you seen a change in students? Say like more they're trying to earn the behavior point. Have you seen any kind of change since this opened?
I have heard students talking about how they really want more points because they've been talking about what all they want in the store and how they're going to get the points to get their groceries. Because I've seen kids come in with grocery lists of stuff that their parents sent them with to get some groceries for the house. So yeah, and everyone really loves the shirts too, so everyone's saving up their points for the shirts.
And that way they can show some school pride.
Yes.
What would you say to somebody who's watching this and thinking, maybe I should open up a grocery store in the school that I'm involved with? How have you seen this turn into something really good?
I think this is a great idea because we have lots of students come in here every Mondays and Fridays that we're open, and they seem really excited to get their food, and yeah, I think there has been a positive behavior change in the school.
I think it's a good thing. Okay. Thank you, Morgan.
Yes, of course.
In the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. The angel went to her and said, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you."
When God invited Mary to bear His Son, He was inviting her to take on hardship. In many cases, it still works that way. Being a part of something significant always carries with it some difficulties. Nothing of great worth ever comes without great cost. Mary's response to the angel is a model for us. She could not have known all it would mean, but she was okay with that. In the Revised Standard Version, her statement is translated, "Let it be to me according to your word." God's mission to the world is built on courageous, heartfelt declarations like that. God, do with me as you will. Have you ever been to Clanton, Alabama? It's on Interstate 65 between Birmingham and Montgomery. Most of us know it as the location of Peach Park. Students from our church stop there every year on the way to spring camp, and it's a regular stop for my wife Carrie and me as we're traveling I-65. In January of 1936, there was a big Christian gathering there, and the song leader was the famous B.B. McKinney, writer of a number of the good old hymns. The featured speaker was R.S. Jones, a missionary to Brazil who had been forced to return to the States because of bad health. During the meeting, B.B. McKinney asked R.S. Jones, the missionary, about his future plans. Jones answered casually, "I don't know, but wherever he leads, I'll go." McKinney was moved by those words which Jones had spoken rather casually. McKinney was gifted with the ability to write songs quickly, so that very evening, McKinney told the story of what the missionary Jones had said earlier, and he sang for the first time the song that has provided the soundtrack for countless big spiritual decisions. I'll bet some of you grew up singing that song in church. The last stanza says, "My heart, my life, my all I bring to Christ who loves me so. He is my Master, Lord and King. Wherever He leads, I'll go. Wherever He leads, I'll go. Wherever He leads, I'll go. I'll follow my Christ who loves me so. Wherever He leads, I'll go." And that is how the extraordinary stories of ordinary Christ followers begin. A willingness to do whatever it takes to follow the promptings of God's Spirit within you, to try something bold, to attempt something daring, despite your fear. By the way, let me finish the story of Adam. Remember Adam from the bungee jump a few minutes ago? When Adam decided not to jump, our daughter, Brennan, and I walked over and got in line for the go-karts. The line wound around until several minutes later, I looked over and I saw Adam sitting with his family, and it looked like they were celebrating. I wondered if maybe Adam had jumped, so I told Brennan I'd be right back. I hurried over to see for myself. Well, I didn't know him from Adam. Of course, he was Adam, but I asked him, "Hey man, did you jump?" And Adam answered with a broad smile, yes, I did." He'd been there before and walked away. But on his second time out, he mustered the courage to do it. Maybe you've been there before, and you're considering again a big decision. I once told another story about jumping, and I shared one of my favorite lines at church: "If you can't jump brave, jump scared." To commemorate that, Jeff Gaddis made a plaque for me which hangs on the wall in our den. If you can't jump brave, jump scared. An ordinary teenage girl changed history with the words, "Let it be with me as you say." Do what is right. Change a little history. And if you can't jump brave, jump scared. Mary did.
What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious is the flow that makes me white as snow. Fount I know nothing but the blood of Jesus. For my pardon, this I see, nothing but the blood of Jesus. For my cleansing, this I plead, nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious is the flow that makes me white as snow. Fount I know nothing but the blood of Jesus. This is all my hope and peace, nothing but the blood of Jesus. This is all my righteousness,
Tennessee Valley Church means church has left the building. So has membership. Here's what I mean. You might be feeling a need or maybe even a call from God to be part of our church family in a more tangible way. If you're not able to join us physically here at 600 Governors Drive, whether because of distance, mobility, schedule, or some other reason, you still can be a member of First Baptist Huntsville. Let me send you information on what that would mean, what you could expect from your church, and what your church would expect from you. Email me at travis@fbchsv.org. Let me know of your desire for membership, and I'll help you get started. Join hands with us as we attempt to join hands with God Himself in His mission to the world.